Ladies and gentlemen, seekers of light and secret knowledge wherever you may be, you are listening to Points of Light Radio, the podcast dedicated to taking you past the apron and behind the closed doors of lodges everywhere. And here is your host, Stan Miller.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. Shalom, assalamu alaikum, adnastana. It's a pleasure to be back with you here on Points of Light Radio and continuing this wonderful journey that we began over a year ago. In today's segment of Points of Light Radio, we were going to be visiting the Elks Lodge. But what's beautiful about this is we're not going to be revisiting the traditional Elks Lodges that you've seen featured here before. We're going to be fellowshipping with a member of the Improved Benevolent Protected Order of Elks of the world, right? I've been wanting to feature this organization for almost a year now, and it's a pleasure to finally, as you always hear me say here on Points of Light Radio when we do this, it's a pleasure to finally be able to feature them. Now, just to give you some insight, the Improved Benevolent Protected Order of Elks of the world is an African-American fraternal order modeled on the Benevolent Protected Order of Elks. It was established in 1879, right? In the early 21st century, it had over 500,000 members and 1,500 lodges in the world, right? The order claims to be a descendant from the Free African Society, and it was founded, as I said, in 1887 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as a mutual aid society, right? And here to shed some light on the Improved Benevolent Protected Order of Elks of the world is our old friend, and you've seen him on here before. I love having repeat guests on here. His name is Shawn O'Cannon. He's the former lecturing knight of the Improved Benevolent Protected Order of Elks of the world, PD Elks Lodge 1679. Let's go fellowship with Mr. O'Cannon. But are you still thirsty for knowledge? Are you still searching for the light? And you just trim your lamp and you follow me. Mr. O'Cannon, welcome back to Points of Light Radio.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be back and glad to have you talk.
So you're a number of different fraternal organizations and independent bodies of Freemasonry, but you are here today specifically to discuss the Improved Benevolent Protected Order of Elks Lodge that you belong to.
Yes. We are old. It's also an old fraternal lodge. It was started many, many years ago. It actually have lineage connected to Grand United Order of Odd Fellows and Knights of Pythias.
Oh, okay.
Because so they got that lineage from that. You also have strange lineage. The one I belong to, which is called, really people call it the Black Elks, because there's two different ones. How it got started originally and where the members originally came from. So, but the overall goal is still the same as any other body. Try to do as much community service as possible, try to help as many different people as possible, but also be assistant to all widows, orphans, and people in need. So it's still the same, just different collar, different hat, different color tie you wear. All the sisters have the same message, in the same message.
Okay. So what offices, have you held any offices within the Elks?
Yes, I have been on the joint management team, which helped manage the lodge. I also been the lecturer night and leader night for my Elk Lodge. I am not a current Grand Lodge officer, nor have I had any aspiration to be one. Um,
But lecturing night, what would you do with that? That's a
Well, you just help people in a lodge with different things from um different things, issues they may have. I wouldn't lecture night because I don't give lectures. I was like the second in charge or the third in charge of the lodge, making sure the lodge operating functioning. Just different titles for the same job.
what lodge do you belong to, though?
PD United Elks 1679 in Darlington, South Carolina.
Okay,
I'm very proud and have one of the biggest elk lodge buildings in the country. So
okay.
I like
How
it.
long has that been around? Your lodge itself. The
A little over 30 years.
Wow, that's interesting.
This
Now,
lodge is older than that, but I've been around for 30 years.
okay. Now, what exactly would you say makes your lodge, your particular lodge, unique compared to other improved Elks lodges?
Um, I think it's some of the leadership. We have a very diverse group of people with different life experiences. All of them do, but our founders for our lodge, they took a lot of time to build a facility where we at. And, excuse me, and I believe we have the largest elk building in the country. So it took a lot of time and effort to build a facility to make sure we be able to assist the community for community events as well as our own social events to help other people and to be involved in the community.
Now, is there a degree system with the improved benevolent protected order?
No, we don't do degrees. We a team of members who work together in unison to further the cause of helping. And through
How many members does your lodge help have? Sorry.
I can't really tell you because you have the males and the women's side, so it may be very
Oh,
they may be part of the whole, but they may do separate projects because I'm not on those committees right now, so I can't exactly tell you what they do. I know we have a youth group, so we help with the youth and we help with another sporting events group, but we do some other things, also help out when members sick or die, we do something for them as well. So it varies depending on the time and how much money we could raise, how much we could do.
now, how is your lodge doing, by the way, of attracting the millennials? This seems to be an ongoing challenge with many lodges these days.
It could be doing better, but it's not doing as good as it should. It's all about being able to market yourself. Um, we're not doing a very good job at marketing ourselves to the new age people. But if we actually take that task up, I think we could turn it around if we show the benefits to them as well as to our community, and that will increase the number of members we may have.
Now, tell us about some events that you might be having this year to, shall we say,
Uh,
help celebrate the holiday season.
we have in October we have what we call our annual festivities when we're founded every year. We also have a parade. We also feed the whole community that we're in. We in the town of Darlington, so we serve lunch to everybody who want to come by that day free of charge. You just have to come, sodas, um, food. We pay out of our own pockets, or the lodge or temple also pay some money towards that. We also do a Christmas banquet and feed people, the whole community again of Darlington. Just have them come out, grab a plate, socialize and network, and just have community relationships. So those are two biggest things, but throughout the year, we do a few other small things, depending on what may be coming up or how we could actually be effective. Um, we work with some other lodges or temples in our community, in our sector, to sometimes host annual fundraiser events, so that we could do more community aspect of work. And they may do some things with their money, we may do something with our money from either improvements, or we may be doing some stuff to help out buying school supplies. We usually buy school supplies and give out book bags and stuff like that once a year, once or maybe sometimes twice a year, depending on our funds that we have available.
So, what drew you to the Elks, and what exactly has the Elks done for you?
Um, with all my artists, the same thing drew me. The further seek a further light and acknowledgement and knowledge. Because each organization I join has given me a different level of knowledge and awareness of what's around me and looking at something different. The Elks taught me how to deal with certain stressful situations and manage that and still be productive. Um, because there's a lot of things you may deal with the community. The Elks is very community based.
It is, yes.
You have to be very patient sometimes. Just trying to help people don't mean they want your help or they're going to accept your help, even though they need your help or they want your help. So it taught me a lot about patience and how to maintain, because I can't let myself get out of character because somebody else was trying to get out of character just to make a point and this caused them to be a show. So it taught me a lot of patience and a lot of fortitude to get the job done without getting the job done.
Would you not agree with me too? I've said this before in my podcast. It depends on what you're looking for when you enter fraternalism. Are you looking for something where you have an exemplification of degrees, where you can go through different, or are you looking for an organization that you go, you do your initiation, there's no more degrees, you just get on with it, doing all that great work and giving back to the community like the Elks do. And then there's these other branches of fraternalism where, yeah, you can go and it's a little deeper and it's a little, you know what I mean? And I think it's wonderful to have both those organizations around. Like I've had you on here before about I Fellowship, and that's great.
Yeah, but there's one other thing that I also look at. Any of these organizations has one thing in common. They're only going to give you as much as you put in. If you don't take the time to study or learn about it, or how it can really be a positive effect on your environment and your community, it don't really matter how many titles, names they call you, because you didn't take the time to do the basic, learn your craft. If you don't learn your craft, it don't matter whatever title you got, because you're not going to be effective if you don't learn your craft. So that's the one thing all organizations have in common. And I think a lot of organizations now got to a point you can buy a title. As long as you got the money, you can get a title, as long as you can pay for it. You might not know nothing.
Yeah.
But you can pay for that set title. I don't believe in that. If I get a title I believe in, I want to earn it for my abilities, not because I can afford it. I might can't afford it, but I might have the ability to do it and get the job done right. But you might not recognize me because I can't afford it. But it depends on my financial situation. Our community work shouldn't be based. No community work should be based on how much a person may earn or don't earn. It should be by how much work they want to put into making things better for the overall, not just for self, but for overall.
Well, on that note of exhortation, Mr. O'Connor, I appreciate your time today, and all the very best to you and the Improved Benevolent Protected Order of Elks, sir.
Yes, thank you, sir. I'm glad to be assistant, and I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you. Shawn O'Connor, brothers and sisters. I had a bit of a conversation with him just before the interview, and I'm telling you right now, he's so involved in fraternalism. He's going to be another one of those repeat guests we keep having back here. Like I keep saying, we're getting more guys like my friend Owen Snowden on, contributing on here, and I definitely will be. I definitely will be featuring Mr. O'Cannon on here again. And I love his exhortation when it comes to fraternalism. You get out of it what you put into it. Now, this organization that he's represented today does not have a degree system. Many think fraternalism is all about degrees. It isn't. And as he said, right, you can have the degrees and still not have much, still not really be contributing properly within your lodge. I love that, right? I love how active his Elks Lodge is, feeding the hungry, taking care of the less fortunate, right? I mean, we love the brotherhood of fraternalism, but let's not forget those good works, brothers and sisters. We have to remember those, right? And what did you think about the Improved Benevolent Protected Order of Elks of the world, right? I mean, I look forward personally to featuring them again. This is a wonderful organization here again. And, right, and like I keep saying, we will feature them again. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have for today. Before I go, I want to remind you once again that this podcast is available on both YouTube and Spreaker. Please share, like, and subscribe when viewing Points of Light Radio on YouTube. I also welcome your comments and input. You can follow Points of Light Radio on my Facebook page at facebook.com/Points of Light Radio. My Twitter handle is at PO Light Radio. You can see the link to my Spotify channel as well as my Points of Light Radio store. Brothers and sisters, I'm sorry to part with you. But until we meet again, just step into the light.